looking at you from this stage here, you look nice. And I think as Dr. Turiongo has said, we're in a good environment. Maybe we need to negotiate with the hotel to get either to 13th floor or to 14th floor. Then we can be able to see the animals up to the farthest end of the Nairobi National Park. Because being on first floor, we may not have a very good view. So because we are here for 2 days, we may do some negotiations. So this morning, before I do the formal intro, just allow me to be able to reflect, because we are on the 13th Banking Annual Conference. So I'm asking myself, are we better off as a banking industry 13 years down the line that we've been having this conference year on, or we are in a challenging situation that we need to reflect as to how our 13-year journey has been and exactly what have we learned and what can we be able to do better. And then also, the other reflective point that we may just want to be able to look at is we may again be complicating simple problems, because we all exist in our various spaces to just be able to solve problems. And these problems that we are solving are human problems. It's dealing with people, because I know in the space that we work in, formally or even back at home where we've come from, we are dealing with human beings, people, and those people are our customers. Whether it's your child, whether it's your spouse, whether it's your brother, your sister, that's your customer. And when we come to the bank again, everybody who interact along the chain, those are our customers, and they are human beings. So what problems are we solving for them? So as we go through these sessions and we get to tomorrow, we need to be asking ourselves as to, when living here, how are we going to improve ourselves to be able to better serve our customers? The other question that I'll still ask is, how many researchers are we in the banking industry? Have we done that count? I think it's an assignment I'll give to you. When we touch base tomorrow, when we are closing, we'll want to know how many are we within the industry. And that question again I'm asking because 13 years down the line, have we done some analysis? And the beauty is that we have people in the room who are pioneers of this, who are the brains behind this annual conference. So the question is, do you have a number of the policies, laws, regulations that have actually been picked up by government as a result of our conversations here? That's also maybe something of interest to be able to just take stock as to how good are we doing. And then the last question will be, in our banking space, looking at the last 13 years, the last 5 years, the last 2 years, what innovations have come out that are actually embedded on our research discussions within this conference, and then also within our research spaces within our banks. So many questions that we would love. And for most of us who are not serious researchers, we would love to be able to get from our research colleagues. So for those who will be presenting, as you come to present, you may attempt to respond to any of those, even as you begin your presentations. So at this time, allow me to just be able to welcome our chief guest, Professor Victor Molenje, to KBA. Karibu sana. And then also, as been communicated to us, we have Betty Korir. She's our vice chair of Kenya Bankers Association. Karibu sana, and thanks for gracing this occasion. We have our CEOs present in the house and also CEOs representatives. Mr. Rao, I can be able to see you. I'm scanning around to be able to see the other bank CEOs. I've seen Jared Ketenga, the CEO, CIS Kenya. You are a very great partner of us. And all researchers in the house, discussants, you are most welcome. We have our media and all distinguished guests. So welcome to this session. And as I indicated, as we discuss, let's look for ways to be able to simplify the language that is being passed across, so that as we live here, we go to solve problems. The marketplace doesn't require complicated English, doesn't require complicated formulas. The market requires solutions. So even as we use complicated formulas, complicated language, we use abbreviations, please come down to some of us and be able to solve the marketplace problems. So this being the 13th year, some people associate 13th years with a lot of things, but for me, 13th year is a year of change, a year of transformation. So this conference, we need to be able to see what transformation we will actually be able to come out from these two sessions to be able to solve our problems. Because currently, as I'll say, looking at 13 years and now, our NPLs, I think they're in the red as an industry. You look at growth of credit to private sector, I don't think if we are, just last year we were in double digits. This year we've dropped to, I think it's even below 4%. That's great growth. And those are the problems we are supposed to be solving. So let's see how we get into this space, be able to navigate this challenge. As a country, we have challenges within the physical space, and I know part of the papers will be discussing that on the aspect of the debt. As researchers, the country looks upon us to be able to use our brain power and then convert it into simple, implementable proposals that can benefit the country. And we are privileged to be working the spaces that we are working in, that our thought process, our ideas can actually be picked up and be able to help the country. So seated at KBA, and Bet will come after me, the message is we are privileged as industry to be working together and be getting ideas from you, which ideas we use to be able to help our country. At some point, we may not realize that, but get it from me, and more specifically, for us researchers within the banking industry, we are in a very privileged position to be able to change a lot within the country, but we are not doing, we are not structured enough to actually be able to change that trajectory. If you see what's going on within the country, people are crying for solutions, but we are not standing up to be able to provide those solutions. We are just joining the queue to discuss, analyze, write about it, but not take steps to be able to solve those positions, those solutions. Yesterday, I had a very lengthy discussion with our CS National Treasury, Honorable Mbadi, and you can see in his eyes, he's very genuine in wanting to help the country be able to get out of the challenges that we are in economically, but are we prepared to help the CS, help National Treasury, help the country, help Central Bank to be able to solve those problems? At some times we fear, we think it's not our work, but in solving problems, you should not wait to be told there's a problem here, please come and fix. Just provide the solution and it will be picked up. Some of the work we do at KBA, and Jared Osoro is here, he's been on this journey since this conference began. Part of the work we're doing today, the benefit will come 5 years, 8 years. So just do the right thing, provide the solutions, and it will be picked up at the right time. There's so much that's going on within our ecosystem. Customer service complaints, our green agenda, climate finance, that's the space we are in to be able to see how we help ourselves within our businesses, how we help the government to be able to navigate this particular space. So as we journey through these conversations, and even as we ask questions, for those who will not be coming here to discuss or present, let's focus on what solutions are we going to provide. And they're very simple solutions, not complicated, and don't complicate things. We overcomplicate things and don't make progress. So that's my message. Let's not complicate things. I'll conclude by looking at our economic environment. We need to solve the challenges. It's both a social and an economic challenge in that we have too many small businesses within our ecosystem. Those small businesses are not helping banks. They are not helping the economy. In fact, they are bringing down the economy. People start small, including all of us in this house. We have side hustles or hustles, but we just look at them small. So my question is, when you leave employment, how will that side hustle help you? If at the moment you are not thinking of it 100 years from now, how should it look like? That side hustle will not help you when you leave employment. For those who are not in employment, again, who are in the MSME space, the informal sector, they just look at themselves, start small, remain small. You become weak, the business becomes weak. You die, the business dies. So we will not grow the economy. We will not be able to help government raise revenue. So I'm just thinking as to, while sitting in this house and being in the right forum, as to what we can be able to do for our country as far as family businesses are concerned. Let's start our small businesses, look at them as family businesses. Look at 200 years, 300 years from now when I'm not there, how will this family business be moving? I think that will help us to be able to have long-term and then also get the succession right, involve our children right from the young age, so that when your child is 20 years and the bank is asking your child, how many years of experience do you have in this business? Your 20-year child can be able to confidently say, I have 15 years experience in this business because I've worked with my parents in this business, and because of the history, Betty will not be able to deny that 20-year-old credit because the business has been there. I can also see the prospect in this 20-year-old. So it's a viable business. If we work on that formula, change the mindset within our ecosystem, we'll help ourselves, help our economy, and even as we retire, we will have some sustainable. Because again, when you retire, the banks that you are working with will not see us as very viable customers because you are now high risk. When you retire, you are very high risk to a bank. So you need to have that succession plan where you're saying, yes, I've retired, but my child has picked up. So you'll be given credit based on the age of your child. But for you, you will not. So it's something simple, but it may solve a lot of our problems. And when these businesses grow, they'll actually be able to generate enough revenue for government. So government will not be coming to a few of us who are employed for a lot of the taxes. I'll request that I stop there, just to appreciate you all for walking this journey with us for the last 13 years, and then also for our chief guest for graciously agreeing to be with us, Professor Victor. We'll be able to hear from him. But at this time, allow me to invite our Vice Chair, Kenya Bankers Association, Madam Betty Korir, to be able to come and speak to us. Thank you.